Hey guys, welcome to your channel. I'm going to give you some guidelines regarding one important Hindu article from the opinion page, a wake up call on proprietary speech. This article is at the recent context of the ongoing debate between PepsiCo and farmers, but it has directly brought the context of intellectual property rights related to agriculture. So this topic is important. Before going into the context, let's view a particular term, what is called sui generis. This term sui generis has been mentioned in the TRIPS agreement under Article 27.3b. And why this term actually? The terms actually gives a flexibility to the intellectual property rights related with agriculture. Because in case of agricultural patent, there are various difficulties in giving patent if it is universally taken. Because geographical area, farmers' traditional knowledge, and many other things matter in case of providing patent to agricultural agricultural products. That is why for giving a flexibility to the countries to take their own intellectual property rights in terms of agriculture as per their own requirement, this TRIPS agreement under Article 27.3b added the article sui generis. That means the countries can adopt the patent law in agriculture according to their own requirements. It is a kind of intellectual property right actually giving to a existing new database. So as per the article, the TRIPS says that the property right under sui generis must have to be a property right. It should be generally applicable, a protected right, and it should be a non-discriminatory property right. There are two agreements, international agreements related with agricultural property rights. One is trade-related aspects of intellectual property right TRIPS. Another is International Union for the Protection of New Varieties of Plants. What India has done, India has vowed to legislate laws under trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. India has not opted for the membership of International Union for the Protection of New Varieties of Plants because India's legislation has fulfilled the requirements of farmers. It has protected the rights of farmers up to the fullest. In this era of globalization, in front of the growing multinational companies' aggression towards the agricultural market, towards local market, for the sake of the right of the farmers, Indian government has not opted for the membership of International Union for the Protection of New Varieties of Plants. Instead, India has opted for this TRIPS agreement, and under Article 27.3b, as we have already discussed, under the term of sui generis, India has adopted Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers Act 2001, which has been implemented in India right from 2005. Under this, protection period is 15 years, but in case of trees and vines, the protection period is 18 years. So what is the difference between TRIPS and UPOV? This is very important. One basic distinction is that UPOV is much more aggressive and it is much more for the sake of international commerce community, while taking legislation under TRIPS is much more farmers friendly. UPOV only protects new varieties, right? But this Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers Act 2001 in India protects new varieties plus existing varieties and plus all the seeds registered under Seeds Act 1966 as well as seeds which are to the common knowledge of the farmers, traditional people. It protects breeders rather than farmers, right? New varieties of UPOV protects much more breeders than the farmers, but this law, Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers Act 2001, protects farmers as well as much as breeders we must be provided that it has protected much more farmers. It has protected all the rights of a farmers in a agricultural friendly country in India. Then let's see some special features of this protection of plant varieties and farmers' right act 2001. It must be mentionable that it protects breeders plus farmers as well as researchers. How it has protected breeders? It has given exclusive right to produce and sell in branded packaging. That means the seeds which are protected under Breeders' Right Act, though they can be equally sold by the farmers as well, but farmers cannot sell them in branded packaging. The seeds which are protected under Protected Breeders' Right Act can be sold in branded packets only by the breeders, though they can be used by the farmers for not selling, showing, or any other purposes. But farmers cannot sell them in branded packages which are protected under Protected Breeders' Right Act. And this is the controversy where PepsiCo has sued the farmers, and while farmers community is demanding that it is gross injustice because farmers have fully right to produce and sell them. Right, in that way, the researchers can use a registered variety for research. In that way, this act is called that only act in the whole world which is equally protected breeders, farmers, and researchers in a very eco-friendly and very comprehensive way. Then how it has protected the farmers' right? Under this act, farmers can save, use, sow, sell of farm produce including seeds protected by Plant Breeders' Right Act, but they cannot sell in branded packages. I have already mentioned this thing. Means farmers can use the seeds unprotected under Protected Breeders' Right Act, but they cannot sell them in branded packages. This act has considered farmers as cultivator, conserver, and breeder, and it has also very good provisions so that multinational companies or breeders cannot exploit the farmers. That is why there is a provision that breeders must have to inform the farmers about the quality of the seeds and about their performance. They cannot cheat the farmers by giving them expectation of high productivity, and in case if any such misinformation is given to the farmers, that farmers can claim compensation from the breeders. Another good provision is that if any farmers unknowingly violates the Breeders' Right Act, that farmers cannot be punished if he can sufficiently prove that he was not aware about the existing law of Breeders' Protected Rights Act. In this way, the farmers, this protection of plant varieties and farmers' right act equally protected breeders, farmers, and researchers, and have paved the way for a eco-friendly agricultural system in the country, while it has granted the arrival of multinational companies in agricultural produce, but it has equally given provision for the local farmers so they can withstand the challenges given by the external markets.